Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome our guest of honor, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Zeti Akhtar Aziz, the Governor of Bank Negara Malaysia. Now may I request all to stand for our national anthem. Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera and very good morning. Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Zeti Akhtar Aziz, Governor of Bank Negara Malaysia. Yang Berbahagia Datuk Zamani Abdul Ghani, Chairman of Raeed Holdings, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Organizing Committee, I would like to extend my warm welcome to all guests to the launch of the investment account platform of the IAP at Sasana Kijang today. For the program and launch to be blessed, I would like to call upon Yang Berbahagia Ustaz Muhammad Faizuddin Akhtar for the recitation of the dua.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. That will protect us from evil deed. Instill in us the great intention to obey you will show us the path to Jannah. Immerse in a strong confidence will ease our burden and hardship. O Allah, set right our faith with the safeguard of all our affairs, and set right for us our worldly affairs that without investigation. Ya Allah, bless this event.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu sayyidil mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi yaumiddin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Zeti Akhtar Aziz, Governor of Bank Negara Malaysia. Encik Kamarul Arifin Muhammad Jamil, Group Chief Executive Officer Affin Holdings Bhd. Yang Berbahagia Datuk Sri Zukri Samad, Managing Director Bank Islam Malaysia Bhd. Yang Berbahagia Datuk Haji Muhammad Reza Shah Abdul Wahid, Chief Executive Officer Bank Muamalat Malaysia Bhd. Encik Shah Rizan Sulaiman, Deputy Chief Executive Maybank Islamic Bhd. Yang Berbahagia Datuk Mustafa Haji Abdul Razak, Managing Director President Bank Kerjasama Rakyat Malaysia Bhd. Dan yang berbahagia Datuk Adinan Maning, Chief Executive Bank Simpanan Nasional Bhd. Distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Raeed Holdings Sdn Bhd, I wish to welcome you this morning to the launch of the investment account platform. I would also like to extend our gratitude to the Governor of Bank Negara Malaysia, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Zeti Akhtar Aziz, for her presence this morning to grace the launch of today's important event despite her busy schedule. Thank you, Governor. Thank you very much for this. The launch today marks another milestone in the domestic Islamic banking industry as we embark onto another important initiative that aims to broaden the traditional role of Islamic banking institutions, that is, one of a traditional credit provider that will now include investment intermediary. The idea to develop a technology-based platform to facilitate efficient delivery of investment account, that is a new product by Islamic banking institutions, was mooted by the Islamic finance industry in Malaysia in view of the changing landscape under a dedicated legislation, that is the Islamic Financial Services Act 2003 or IFSA. Four Islamic banks, namely Affin Islamic Bank, Bank Islam, Bank Muamalat and Maybank Islamic, established a consortium called Raeed Holdings Sdn Bhd on 15th of May 2015. This consortium represents the strategic collaboration between Malaysian Islamic banking institutions in an effort to collectively pursue a common objective. As a start, Raeed has set up a wholly owned subsidiary, IAP Integrated Sdn Bhd, to specifically undertake the IAP business. RAM rating agency has also been roped in to provide independent rating on the ventures or assets that are to be listed on IAP. I would say that the main challenges in developing IAP lies in streamlining various considerations including IT, banking operation, Sharia, legal, products, recovery, risk management and compliance. That is streamlining across 4 founding banks while ensuring at the same time the business proposition of IAP remain competitive. For this, I would like to congratulate the 4 founding banks and IAP Integrated for their hard work and invaluable contributions throughout the development phases of the platform, and I would also like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our regulator, Bank Negara Malaysia, who has been instrumental in facilitating our initiative. Finally, it is worth noting that through the course of the IAP development, it is encouraging to see strong support from the government. Following the announcement of this initiative during the tabling of Budget 2015 last year by Yang Berhormat the Prime Minister of Malaysia. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, IAP is a centralized multi-bank platform that enables investors to directly finance ventures of their choice according to their risk-return preferences. The platform intends to enable different spectrum of businesses, including SMEs, corporates, new growth industries, as well as entrepreneurs with good and viable projects to gain access to financing in support of real economic activities as well as growth. A unique feature of IAP lies in the intermediary roles undertaken by Islamic banking institutions, which put forth the element of trust and credibility that are invaluable in boosting investors' confidence and enhancing financing opportunities for entrepreneurs. This ultimately increases the likelihood of concluding tangible deals via IAP. From the perspective of investors, IAP represents an opportunity to earn competitive returns as well as a new avenue to diversify their investment portfolio while leveraging on the prevailing architecture to address information asymmetries. Through IAP, investors can rely on Islamic Bank's robust assessment to understand the inherent risks involved before investing in different sectors or industries. In addition, all ventures listed on the platform are also independently rated by a professional rating agency that further facilitates informed investment decision-making by investors. These features are especially useful to small and medium-sized institutional investors without the dedicated resources to assess the risk involved before proceeding with an investment decision. Care has also been given in incorporating an assessment approach and rating methodology that is familiar to established investors in the market. As such, IAP offerings represent a new class of investment assets, particularly for institutional investors such as Tabung Haji, Muamalat Nasional Berhad, Co-op, KWSP. In fact, this IAP initiative augurs well with strong market trends that are signaling increasing demand for Sharia investment assets. For entrepreneurs, IAP offer a new source of enhanced access of funding for their business activities. And entrepreneurs have the opportunity to enjoy competitive financing rates, given their ability to pitch their proposals to multiple banks concurrently as well as to tap the bank's expertise in structuring financing that meet investors' requirements. Institutions with mandates to develop specific industries may further enhance financing opportunities for strategic ventures through strengthening the visibility of these ventures to IAP investors. We believe that the proposition of IAP are able to not only fulfill our commercial objectives but also to help achieve our national aspirations. Government agencies such as CGC, SME Corps, MTDC, or even MARA and Teraju can potentially tap on the services provided via IAP to efficiently channel grants managed by their institutions to viable ventures that meet their specific requirements. IAP can also serve as an avenue to spur public-private partnerships in financing these ventures, therefore enhancing outreach and increasing the number of beneficiaries for these limited grants. Let us take the example of a small and medium enterprise or SME. Currently, various initiatives have been undertaken by the government to widen the avenues of financing for SMEs. IAP can serve as a new channel for government agencies to impart grants or financing to SMEs, given the supporting features of the platform that enable efficient screening of viable ventures that meet their criteria. In addition, IAP can be used as a mechanism in attracting the private sector to partially fund these ventures. Through the strategic alliances with IAP, existing benchmarks such as the SME Competitive Rating for Enhancement or SCORE rating issued by the SME Corps can also be leveraged upon to streamline risk profiles relevant to SMEs. Raising funds via IAP can also be potentially useful in assisting SME owners to retain their ownership in the course of them seeking financial injection. This is as opposed to other fundraising mediums available in the market which may dilute the equity interests of SME owners. Ladies and gentlemen, at the industry level, a collaborative initiative such as IAP is important in promoting economies of scale. Such an initiative reduces initial investment costs for Islamic banking institutions in embarking into a new business line, which in this case is the offering of investment account products through a shared platform. As a centralized platform, IAP offers wider choices for the investors in terms of servicing financial institutions or sponsoring banks and the selection of ventures to invest. This can lead towards achieving critical mass of potential investors via a wider outreach beyond the existing customer base of individual banking institutions. Subsequently, it collectively expands the offering of Islamic banking institutions beyond traditional banking business. In view of this, I would like to urge more Islamic banking institutions to join these initiatives. On this, I would like to take this opportunity, therefore, to welcome two new members on board, namely Bank Rakyat and Bank Simpanan Nasional into the brotherhood. Distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, today we will also be witnessing history in the making, where two separate signing ceremonies will take place, commemorating the collaboration among the Malaysian Islamic finance industry players as well as between IAP Integrated and Raeed Holdings Bhd. I'm also very pleased to announce that IAP has now begun its operation, and everyone is welcome to register as IAP users via its dedicated website, namely www.iaplatform.com, and several proposals are currently being finalized by the sponsoring banks prior to potentially listing of IAP starting, inshallah, by March this year. On this note, I would like to state once again that our achievement would not have been possible without the support from our regulators, invaluable business partners, and supporting industry players. We are grateful for the faith and confidence placed in us to deliver our best cost-effective solution to satisfy the financial needs of different stakeholders. May this synergy be blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we will be working even more closely ahead and beyond. Shukran and thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now it is my pleasure to invite Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Zeti Akhtar Aziz, the Governor of Bank Negara Malaysia, to deliver her keynote address.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to be here this morning for the launch of the investment account platform, the centralized multi-bank platform that is likely to have significant implications on the role of financial intermediation in the Islamic financial system. This platform is more than just a new and innovative medium for Sharia-compliant investments and fundraising initiatives. It signifies a fundamental shift towards providing solutions that addresses the prevailing gap in the current risk transfer financial regime to one that now allows for financial institutions to include a wider range of investment intermediation activities that emphasizes risk sharing and thus facilitates a stronger linkage of finance and the real economy. And this is the basic foundation of Islamic finance, and this progress, advancement that we are seeing reinforces that. Islamic finance in Malaysia has journeyed through different phases of development and has now evolved into a complete Islamic financial ecosystem that operates alongside the conventional financial system. Underpinning its growth has been the infrastructure and institutional development, product development that is reinforced by increased competition and supported by a robust Sharia legal and regulatory framework. Its development has also been strongly anchored by the investment in human capital development. The industry has now not only achieved a market share beyond the target of 20% by the year 2010, as was envisioned by our financial sector master plan, but it has also met the increasing and differentiated demands of the economy through the range of financial product offerings in Islamic banking, takaful, and Islamic capital market segments. The initiative taken to develop the Islamic financial system has aimed to build a comprehensive financial sector that operates at the highest efficiency and with an outreach that would extend beyond domestic and regional markets and thus facilitate greater cross-border economic linkages. In advancing to the next level of growth and development, the Islamic Financial Services Act of 2013, the IFSA, now provides the industry with the foundation to transition into the next stage of development. The Act takes into account the specificity of Islamic finance while ensuring a robust governance of an end-to-end Sharia-compliant regulatory framework. It also provides an enabling environment for Islamic banks to diversify their business through the offering of investment accounts as an alternative means of raising funds from the public. With this, Islamic banks are allowed to pursue their role as an investment intermediary in which the alternative modes of risk-sharing contracts can be applied for the investment account. Now, this new categorization of deposits under the new Act has now been fully observed since mid-2015, with the effective reclassification of deposits to either being Islamic deposits or investment accounts. Following this exercise, the proportion of investment accounts to total funding for Islamic banks has increased from 7% in August to 10% as at December 2015. And this indicates a positive response towards this new product offering. This platform for investment account is an evolutionary breakthrough that is uniquely designed and for and driven by the industry. So we're very pleased that the industry is driving this initiative. It will become a means by which both investors and entrepreneurs can experience and benefit from the new risk-reward concepts embedded in the investment account. As an internet-based investment platform, the IAP provides convenience and facilitates greater access, thus allowing for the efficient channeling of funds from investors to viable economic ventures and business activities. Its robust risk management infrastructure with a high degree of transparency and disclosure differentiates the IAP from other technology-based fundraising platforms. Islamic banks, in performing their intermediation role in the operationalization of the investment accounts that are being offered on this platform, would rigorously undertake the credit assessment and the screening of the listed ventures. And this is very important, of course, for those that participate in financing these ventures. And the IAP would also require, as has been mentioned, ratings on the listed ventures by rating agencies, reinforced by the requirement for such ventures to comply to the disclosure standards, thus enabling investors to make informed decisions. And integral to the platform is a mechanism for regular monitoring of the progress of the ventures, because it's not at the time of financing of the venture, but the life cycle of the ventures, thus allowing for assessments to be undertaken by the sponsoring banks of any emerging risks associated with the ventures. Ladies and gentlemen, the value proposition and benefits of the IAP are multifold, and it has been mentioned already. It has the potential to spur the generation of new economic strength through the promotion of entrepreneurship and job creation, while also promoting greater financial inclusion, an important agenda for Malaysia, financial inclusion, and thus to enhance our prospects for a more balanced growth. The IAP enables investors to directly finance a broad range of economic activity of their choice, and industries that yield potential returns that are based on the performance of their the underlying chosen ventures. And for businesses, of course, the IAP provides a new source of funding for activities with more competitive financing terms in a range of financing structures, ventures and entities of varying sizes, types and industries, including SMEs, listed firms, multinational companies even, can raise funds on this platform. And given its greater visibility, the IAP will also provide access to a broader range of individuals and institutional investors. And for Islamic banks, the IAP creates a differentiated product that presents a new source of income and funding profile. There's also the potential for institutions with specific mandates to strategically collaborate with the IAP. The role of the IAP that is launched today is envisioned to transcend beyond our domestic borders to become an effective channel to further enhance financial interlinkages with regional and the global economy. It can also be enhanced to become a multi-currency investment platform, and this will be important in a time when ASEAN is becoming more integrated financially and an economic integration is taking place. It can be enhanced as to become a multi-currency investment platform to provide a marketplace for local and international investors to invest in real economic activity and projects denominated in various currencies and financed by Islamic banking institutions from different jurisdictions. This will be the first of its kind shared global platform for Islamic finance. In facilitating cross-border transactions, the IAP will also contribute towards drawing new foreign investors while also allowing for participation in the financing of projects outside the country. The IAP, together with the existing components of financial intermediation, will form a more complete and yet mutually complementary financial ecosystem. To ensure its success, there has to be greater awareness and understanding of the key features of the IAP and its embedded mechanisms by all the stakeholders. Of importance, therefore, is for Islamic banks, investors, and entrepreneurs to have a clear understanding on the risk and return relationships that are embedded in the variations of Sharia contracts used in such investment accounts. Expectations need to be aligned with the various approaches adopted to managing these relationships according to the contractual and operational requirements. And therefore, the education and communications process is very important. It is also paramount for Islamic banks to uphold best practices in the conduct of discharging their fiduciary duties and in performing its administration. Of importance is the required due diligence, performance monitoring, suitability assessments, and investment management. This would ensure that the IAP is always a trusted medium of investment that is transparent and competitive in providing a seamless experience for investors. This would address the concerns of investors on the risks associated with the asymmetry of information. Such features would contribute towards strengthening the ability of the IAP to attract a wider range of investors, and therefore enabling the platform to cater for different types of risk profiles of the different ventures. Ladies and gentlemen, this shared infrastructure for advancing the delivery of the investment account product offerings represents an important platform to take this proposition forward. I wish to congratulate the 6 financial institutions, that includes the 4 Islamic banks and 2 development financial institutions, on their collective efforts to initiate this platform. I understand that there's interest from other Islamic banks to take part in this platform. This platform will have the potential to create a more extensive network of sponsoring banks to meet the diversified demands of investors and ventures. This would further enhance the potential for the value proposition of the IAP as a Sharia-compliant investment vehicle and a fundraising avenue that would bring great benefits to the economy. On this note, it's my pleasure to officially launch the IAP. I wish it every success. Thank you.
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri. May I request that Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri to please remain on stage for the next agenda. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to call upon Yang Berbahagia Datuk Zamani Abdul Ghani, the chairman of Raeed Holdings, to the stage to accompany Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Governor to witness the signing ceremony to mark the Islamic finance collaboration on the Islamic investment account platform. Next, I would like to call upon the shareholder financial institutions on stage for the signing ceremony. Representing Bank Simpanan Nasional, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Adnan Malik, Chief Executive. Representing Affin Islamic Bhd, Encik Kamarul Arifin Muhammad Jamil, Group CEO of Affin Holdings Bhd. Representing Bank Islam Malaysia Bhd, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Sri Zukri Saman, MD. Representing Bank Muamalat Malaysia Bhd, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Haji Muhammad Reza Shah Abdul Wahid, CEO. Representing Maybank Islamic Bhd, Encik Nur Shahrizal Sulaiman, Deputy CEO. And last but not least, representing Bank Rakyat, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Mustafa Haji Abdul Razak, MD and President. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be witnessing the signing of the collaboration on the IAP by the 6 shareholder banks. May I invite for all signatories to sign on the collaboration agreement. Thank you. Now may I please invite Tan Sri Governor, Datuk Zamani and all signatories to remain on stage for the next agenda. The second signing ceremony is between IAP and RAM to seal a strategic alliance for RAM to provide rating services for the ventures listed on the platform. Now, I would like to call upon the CEO of IAP Integrated, Encik Muhammad Izzah Muhammad Yusof, and the Group CEO of RAM Holdings, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Sri Dr. K. Govindan, to come on stage for the signing of the IAP RAM collaboration on the investment account platform. May I invite for both signatories to sign on the collaboration agreement. Alhamdulillah, and congratulations to IAP Integrated, RAM Holdings and 6 shareholder banks for the signing of the collaboration agreement. Now I would like to invite all signatories to stand for a photo opportunity together with Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Governor of Bank Negara Malaysia and Yang Berbahagia Datuk Chairman of Raeed Holdings. Thank you. This is the end of the program, the launching of the IAP. Thank you to Governor of Bank Negara Malaysia, Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Dr. Zeti Akhtar Aziz, for your kind presence. On behalf of the organizer, IAP Integrated, thank you to all guests for coming, and also thank you to the organizing committee for making this event a success.
Growing in a larger scale. That's why I think, as mentioned in the presentation, in inception we were focused on the local market. Once people get familiarized with it, people get accustomed to direct mediation, they invest directly into the ventures, then actually the scope of this will be actually quite endless. It can go international, go regional, it can also cater for many different things. That's perhaps, I don't know whether it's within the scope of this AAP, but I think fintech is actually a very interesting development. I think the impact on the financial services industry is going to be quite massive. But at the same time also it will be quite interesting to see how banks actually evolve in the future. In a way this is a slightly different approach that we have taken. As you have seen, the IAP is actually online. So in a way, we are actually having a very transparent mediation, a direct mediation between investors to the ventures directly. So in a way, this also reflects our move towards the digital age and also towards direct mediation.
We do not have those numbers because currently, as a platform, we are offering opportunities for ventures and investors to start looking at another way of them from moving away from the traditional way of investing and putting up getting financing. So from IAP perspective, we are encouraging growth in terms of getting the real numbers for the sponsoring banks. Currently, like I said, is the education process, and we're getting the numbers. And in fact, before the launch, we start talking to the players, like the investor and the ventures, to really make everybody understand this will be the next thing, will be a game changer than currently how we do things. So it is at the beginning stage to put the real numbers, and anything new we can safely say moving within 6 months to 1 year. Then we know how the dynamics of IAP, and we can safely see a certain projection, and then there will be some strength and learnings that we have to go through as well. So from that base, we are more confident to give feedback on how the behavior of the sponsoring banks, as well as new members from the banks coming in, and also how investors taking it, and also how ventures perceive this is a better way on how for them to get financing. It will be the venture. Yes. We have looked into in totality and how the SME and also the big players, there are range for that. So we have to look into if they were to go direct to a bank, for example, and when they come to the platform. Yes, there are some charges, but it will be very minimal and okay compared to they have to go through 6 different banks at one time and coming to the platform and then having 6 banks, or now 4 banks servicing them, and as well as getting investors to invest in them. Yes, there are charges, and it will be quite reasonable. For this kind of venture, it's the only platform. For Raeed, like what Mr. Chairman switched, there are other initiatives among the banks that will have within the finance industry. For this type of fintech, IAP will be the only platform. Is that all? Okay. Thank you very much. Other questions, sir?
I think we have to look at it a little bit broader and longer term. It's not just the IAP is launched for this year and next year. Look at it in the years to come. We're developing the model, we're developing the knowledge in the system. It will take a bit of time. But we are preparing ourselves for takeoff. This is not something that we done immediately. But as time goes, people become more aware and the usefulness of IAP. And if you remember, the governor also mentioned regionalization. This is an opportunity not to look at Malaysia alone, but how to strengthen our SMEs and other investors who would like to go abroad. There's so much talk about Asian Economic Community, now the TPPA. We have to look a little bit longer. How do we actually strengthen our own domestic system so that we can compete abroad? All this will take a bit of time. But as we move, you'll find slowly the thing accelerated. It cannot be like, what is going to be in the next few months? Of course, the economy is not so doing well, but even then we are going 4%. It's not like something like in 1997 is like -7. We're still doing this doing well. And I think as we move forward, you'll find that we pick up. The other angle is the government has granted so much money for SME development. There's so many units running around providing funding. This will be a useful platform to do a bit of credible lending, because there's one rating by the banks and the rating by the rating agency. You'll find that funds from the government organizations, SME, whichever agency you have in government, which is lending to smaller units, will find it much more credible to invest in. So it actually gives the government a bit more confidence when you lend. Okay, so all that will actually accumulate into a bit of mess. The critical mass will come, but it will take a bit of time.
I think the emphasis actually is building the infrastructure. Very much building what the government said, a very breakthrough development in terms of Islamic finance. And for this, it's something that should not be viewed on a short-term basis. So, of course, we see
ada audio ke? Apa je ada? Kalau ada CQ je ada nak cakap.
Ha? Okay, semua ada kat aku. Tapi benda tu besar gila
We're
kan?
looking at
Itu masalah
stabilizing in the next 3 years. 3 years.
Dah laptop.
3 years.
Ada tengok aja. Tengok macam mana nanti. Okay.
It's not really to compete. The nature of it, because when you offer IAP, it has the financing side, whether it's debt as well as equity. So, and then one value that we have is bank intermediated, where the experience of the Islamic banks institution bring forth. So we do feel that it's a different segment, it's complementing. For startup, possibly crowdfunding is an approach. For our side, is from SME to even bigger institutions is a channel for them to seek financing.
You need to differentiate between debt crowdfunding business case and equity funding the case. So I think we will be pushing more for crowdfunding, and we're not competing directly in that sense.
Talking about because the financing will come directly from the investor, and then it will depend on deals where the banks will also participate in deal as an investor. So there's no specific amount given, depends on deals, and also depends on the venture, and then from then on. Okay, it was asked earlier. So because it's at the education stage and then the infrastructure is just ready, we are targeting over the next 2 to 3 years about 200 to 300 million funds raised through the platform. And once it's stabilized, and possibly more information in terms of better projections within the next 12 months. Okay. Yes. We can't really say that on IAP. Part of it, our task is our response. We want to really make IAP a platform of choice, and a choice for people to seek funding and financing. So we hope it will be a game changer from our point of view, So this is how we're going to position IAP. In terms of your question, it's difficult to see from our end of IAP.